We still don't know the team's name, but today we know who will be playing and when. I'm Mike Sherman, this is Darnell Mayberry, and we're talking the NBA schedule. The 2008-09 schedule just came out, and Oklahoma City will open its first season as a full-time NBA city at home Wednesday, October 29th against the Milwaukee Bucks. Darnell, besides the opener, what game jumps out at you?
You know, Boston coming in here on November 5th. I think that's sort of early for the champs. Don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing, but you get to see them early. You know, whether or not they'll be in top form by then, it's probably not. There probably won't be. You know, just the season will just be getting started. But the fact that they're coming in here early, that sort of shocks me a little bit.
That's two big games, opener and then the champs within a week. What's the deal? What about marquee games? Are there any other marquee games that you just jump right out at you?
Well, the biggest marquee game for this city, I think, is going to be November 21st when the Hornets come to town. I mean, that's going to be an event sort of within the event with Chris Paul and Tyson Chandler and David West and everybody who, you know, this city sort of took to when they were here for 2 years, most of them, coming back to this city. That, I think, is going to be the biggest game of the season for the most part, unless, you know, somehow they're competing for a playoff spot in the end of the season.
Well, interestingly enough, they play that Friday night game against the Hornets, and then Saturday they go down to New Orleans.
Yeah.
Start of a rivalry?
I don't think it's going to be a rivalry. The players, you know, Kevin Durant, Jeff Green, they sort of don't care that the Hornets were here.
The cities care.
The city care, but you know, the cities care. But I think the fact that Oklahoma City embraced the Hornets, they love the Hornets. I mean, they have no sort of animosity toward the Hornets or the organization. So I think that it's sort of more of a fan-friendly opponent than anything sort of dealing with a rivalry.
We're the big friendly, you know. That's what we're trying to pass along as the city's motto. Hey, by the way, what's the deal with no Saturday night games in Oklahoma City? I think there's like 13 or 14 road Saturday night games, but none at the Ford Center.
11 Wednesday night games. They got a lot of Wednesday night games. They have Monday and Tuesday night games, but no Saturday night games. It's sort of one of those things that, you know, you wish you could have because it's the weekend and people like to go out and have a good time on the weekend. But we're going to have a great explanation of it in the paper on Thursday. Thursday. Explaining why they didn't have any Saturday night games and exactly what that means for Oklahoma City.
Right, and what about conflicts? Do you see, you know, one of the things we talked about was conflicts with OU basketball, conflicts with OU football. There's a few, right?
Yeah, you got the January, I believe it's the
26th
game. That's the Bedlam game. They're going to be playing the New Jersey Nets, I believe, that night.
Eduardo Nahara will have a big conflict. He lives up in Edmond, OU guy. Probably might like to swoop in, play the night before, and go to the Bedlam game. Yeah. He's wanted other places.
They also play the night of the Sugar Bowl on January 2nd, and then the night of the National Championship game on January 9th.
That's a time-honored tradition. The first season the Hornets were here, Shaq and the Heat were in town the night of the Reggie Bush got taken down by Vince Young.
Great game that was.
Great game. We didn't see much of it.
Missed most of it.
But anyway, okay, now Darnell, one last conflict to ask you about, the Big 12 tournament. While the Big 12 tournament's in town here at the Ford Center, the men and women's tournaments going to be right across the street between the Cox and the Ford Center, the NBA team's going to be gone. Is that going to be a grueling thing or kind of a light road trip?
It's a light road trip. They only have a 3-game road trip. They start, help me out here, what?
I think it's a West Coast road trip.
It's a West Coast road trip. It's only 3 games that week, so you know it's really a light schedule. At first, I thought it was going to be sort of one of those Chicago circus trips or San Antonio rodeo trips. But I mean, the NBA sort of helped Oklahoma City out by not scheduling that many games on the road during that time.
Yeah, they end the previous week at home, and then they start the next week with home games.
And I think it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, so they even have Thursday and Friday off in between.
Some off days in between. Hey, listen. For an in-depth breakdown of the schedule, pick up a copy of Thursday's editions of the Oklahoman. There's also a printable copy of the schedule ready for you to download right now and print out at News OK. And be sure to follow all the latest news on the NBA and OKC in the paper and online at newsok.com.